Hello, I'm Graham and welcome back to Man vs Film. This is going to be a top 10 list of movies that you can watch right now on Netflix US for the month of May 2018. So let's jump in with number 10. Deep Blue Sea. Doctors in an underwater laboratory discover a chemical in the brains of sharks capable of reviving human brain cells. Using gene therapy, the doctors create sharks with larger brain masses as a way to speed up the production of the life-saving antidote. The result is a breed of mako that is bigger, stronger, smarter, faster and more fierce than anything man has seen before. Deep Blue Sea 2 has just been released on video on demand, and I went back and checked out the original, a movie that I absolutely adore. There is a big twist early on in the movie involving one of the characters, and it's just a fun time. One of the better shark movies since Jaws. I have a lot of fun with a lot of the characters. I love how the sharks are smart, intellectual. They're thinking how they're going to take their prey down, and they are still killing machines, and it's just a whole lot of fun. Extremely silly, yep, but fun. Number 9, Mortal Kombat. The story of an ancient tournament where the best of different realms fight each other. The goal? 10 wins to be able to legally invade the losing realm. Outworld has so far collected 9 wins against Earth, so it's up to Lord Raiden and his fighters to stop Outworld from reaching the final victory. Based on a video game that, let's face it, had a very slim plot at the best of times. It was just a case of getting two people fighting. And Paul W.S. Anderson, who's made a lot of poor movies, creates something that is particularly stunning and just entertaining. It's got this ridiculously good techno score all the way through it. It's got great fight scenes that are very fun. It homages the game terrifically well, and it's the best case scenario for this kind of adaptation. One of the most entertaining video game adaptations that I can think of. Number 8, Bad Boys. Marcus Burnett is a henpecked family man. Mike Lowry is a footloose and fancy-free ladies man. Both are Miami police officers, and both have 72 hours to reclaim a consignment of drugs stolen from their station's evidence room. To complicate matters, in order to get the assistance of the sole witness to a murder, they have to pretend to be each other. Back when Michael Bay was making really interesting, fun action thrillers, he put Will Smith and Martin Lawrence together and created a franchise of sorts. There is a part 3 coming soon. Part 2 is a little bit downhearted, but part 1 was where it was all at. It was fun, it was effortless, it was shot particularly well. A lot of Bayisms here, but they work tremendously well within this story, and the story is still pretty coherent. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence have great chemistry together, and they really drive the movie forward. And even watching it now, almost 20 years or more than 20 years after it came out, it still holds up. It's still entertaining, and I think it's well worth checking out again, especially if you haven't watched it in the longest while. Number 7, Pirates of the Caribbean 5. Dead Men Tell No Tales. Captain Jack Sparrow finds the winds of ill fortune blowing even more strongly when deadly ghost pirates led by his old nemesis, the terrifying Captain Salazar, escape from the Devil's Triangle, determined to kill every pirate at sea, including him. Captain Jack's only hope of survival lies in seeking out the legendary Trident of Poseidon. I kind of like the Pirates of the Caribbean's movies, but they definitely are diminishing returns, and again this one isn't as good as the last one for me, and it has a massive budget and they really go to town with some spectacular effects. Especially I'm thinking of the shark scene in this movie. Javier Bardem is the bad guy. Johnny Depp does particularly well as Captain Jack, a little bit more engaged this time than he was maybe the last time. It introduces some new characters and it kind of leaves us on a little bit of a cliffhanger and a little bit of a tease of part 6. Number 6, Despicable Me 3. After he is fired from the Anti-Villain League for failing to take down the latest bad guy to threaten humanity, Gru finds himself in the midst of major identity crisis. But when a mysterious stranger shows up to inform Gru that he is a long-lost twin brother, a brother who desperately wishes to follow his twin's despicable footsteps, one former supervillain will rediscover just how good it is to be bad. I really like the Despicable Me movies, partially because of the minions, and you find that with a lot of these animated movies. They have these little characters that appear every now and again that just kind of steal the show, and the minions do that here as well. But the overarching story, the story of Gru and his adopted daughters, is one that I really like. I like the fact that he's found his partner, he's found his family, he's changed his ways, he's found a new purpose in life, and his brother steps into the scene who seemingly has everything that Gru doesn't have. And each of them want to be each other in each other's shoes, have, you know, a super villain or have a comfortable lifestyle, and it just plays out really well. You can kind of tell where the story's going, but the fun is in the journey, not in the conclusion to the story, and I had a lot of fun on this particular journey. Number 5, Heathers. A regular girl, Veronica, tries to survive the social jungle of high school by sticking with the 3 most popular girls at school, who are all called Heather. As she meets a sociopath named JD, her life spirals into a continuous cycle of hate, unintentional murder and indifference as she exacts revenge on her enemies, also known as her best friends. I absolutely love Heathers. I have seen it lots of time. It stars Christian Slater and Winona Ryder, who are terrific in the lead roles as this couple who have this fantasy, and all of a sudden one of them is a little bit more psychotic than the other and puts it into action, and they end up in a spiralling tale of destruction as they slowly take down these matriarchs of this high school, these women who pretty much make everybody's life hell and probably get a little bit too punished for their actions. It is black comedy at its blackest. It is entertaining as hell. It is a great story with fantastic performances, and if you have never seen Heathers, you have got to check this out. Number 4, Raw. Justine is a first-year veterinary student. Her elder sister is studying the same course at the university. Justine was raised a strict vegetarian, but as part of the hazing rituals is forced to eat meat. Initially, this has adverse effects, but soon she develops a craving for meat, particularly human flesh. People going to college or these kind of movies are usually allegories for sexual awakening, and this one is a little bit different because it awakens a carnivorous, cannibalistic taste for flesh, for meat. The rawer the better, the bloodier the better, as this innocent, demure looking woman suddenly becomes bloodthirsty, meat hungry, and is willing to do anything to get her fix. It's fantastically played and set up, and it twists and turns its story, and it revolts you with some disgusting gore as well. It is a terrific movie, one of my favourites of last year, and if you haven't checked out Raw yet, you're in for a treat. Number 3, The Invitation. Will and Eden were once a loving couple. After a tragedy took their son, Eden disappeared. 2 years later, out of the blue, she returns with a new husband, and as a different person, eerily changed and eager to reunite with her ex and those she left behind. Over the course of a dinner party in the house that was once his, the haunted Will is gripped by a mounting evidence that Eden and her new friends have a mysterious and terrifying agenda. The Invitation is one of those low-budget movies where you're never quite sure if anything is actually going to happen throughout. It is a mind game, a movie set within conversations, within past history, as these 2 ex-partners come together, and Will suspects Eden of being up to something, willing to do something nefarious, but it could just be his distrust and his longing feelings of hate towards his wife for past transgressions. And all the way through the movie, it kind of hums and haws between, is Will really just having this in his head, or is there something really going on? I won't waste the movie for you, but I think it's an entertaining watch, a great psychological kind of thriller, and just really engrossing entertainment. Number 2, Sing Street. 15-year-old Connor has just moved to a new school. Between the inane rules, fascist teacher, priests and bullies, it is a daunting place. He meets a beautiful girl, Rafina, and is immediately smitten by her. To get to see her, he says that he's in a band and needs a model for a music video. Only problem is, he doesn't have a band. He hastily formed one, and creativity starts to flow. Sing Street is one of these movies that just grabbed me instantly by the character of Connor. I loved his coming of age story as he slowly adapts into all these different kinds of musical trends from the 80s, creating really fun pop songs that are highly entertaining as he tries to woo the girl of his dreams. I've watched this a couple of times since it came out, and each time it gets better and better. The songs are terrific, and I think the story is even better, and I definitely think you should be checking this out. Number 1, The Thin Blue Line. A film that successfully argued that a man was wrongly convicted for murder by a corrupt justice system in Dallas County, Texas. The Thin Blue Line is a documentary by Errol Morris, and it's one of these ones that actually uncovers a wrongdoing and justice by laying out the facts. This man was freed after this documentary because of how things were played out. There is a surface story to what is being told here, and then there is the subtext, the manners behind it, how you can look at evidence in 2 factors here, and how things could be overlooked due to prejudices. I think it's definitely an engrossing documentary. This one, I couldn't take my eyes off it. It was fascinating. Even if you're not a documentary person, I think it's definitely worth checking out because the tale itself is absolutely fascinating. So there we have it, 10 movies that you can watch right now on Netflix US for May 2018. Did I miss something out? Was there something that should have been on my list? Let me know in the comment box below, and I will see you next time on Man vs Film.